This is a classic pruning job in terms of thinning. And then the additional things we've done with these plums is because the roots have been getting with the structure, some problems with the structures, that reducing the height and the width as well, which is also done to stop the roots from growing as fast. And then the clearance from the roofs, of course.
So this, it looks like it has not been pruned for a couple of years, by your estimation, looking at the growth and the branches, because it looks a lot fuller than previously.
Not this. Well, this one's been done.
Right.
And the other ones have actually had some lower stuff removed here. But
Right.
yeah, no, that's a couple years of
Okay.
growth. Yeah.
And is this something that you would recommend as an annual pruning to keep it in shape?
No, probably every 2 years is probably fine for this.
Is it fine? Okay. And then now when you talk about the roots, there's no need for root pruning per se to control
No, not necessarily. It's just the roots will not grow as aggressively when you keep reducing the height and size of the overall tree.
Okay. What would be a good height to maintain on these trees?
Well, probably about what we've taken this down to.
So it's going above the two-story roof line. It's okay, or
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's fine.
okay. And
Keeping them constantly reduced to this height, you know, because you can go back year after year, every 2 years, you come back and you can see where it was before.
now some of the branches kind of, particularly in that one unit, it went way into their window, and it seems like the only one that went that way. Does it have anything to do with the way it was trimmed before? What was the cause by the?
No, trees are unpredictable organisms sometimes, and you can't necessarily tell which way they're going to grow.
Okay, so if the limbs go, like, it's starting to grow the direction into the windows, then you have to take that.
Well, if there's a limb growing laterally,
Like that
is a
one, I
major-
noticed that we have to, get
But
that
it's-
off. It was, I had the picture from before, it was actually growing right into the window, into the wall. It's just like touching everything. All of a sudden,
Yep.
it just touched completely over
yeah,
there.
no, but it's the good news is it's the stuff that if it gets that bushy again, it will be. It's just the leaves. It's thin twigs that are going to grow back. That major, you're never going to get a big branch. If a big branch starts to head that way, we're going to take it
Yeah.
off. Like that one, we're probably, we might take that whole thing off. I don't know. That tree's not done yet, so.
Well, that's not done yet.
No.
So, now, what would be the difference between an arborist looking at this and trimming versus a regular gardener? Because that's been asked of me. Why couldn't we use a
Well,
gardener?
Gardeners, first of all, I'm not a licensed arborist. Okay, Henry's the licensed arborist,
Right,
so
right,
I
right.
don't
So
want
I
to
know,
pretend to be.
I know,
yeah,
but
yes.
but I'm saying in general the definition, because I did look at the website.
Yes, so
it is
gardeners and tree guys have very different stuff. Gardeners, a lot of times they're used to shaping hedges and small stuff. You know what I mean in
Yeah,
terms
yeah.
of, and so, but it's a lot more complex when you get into a larger structure and you're talking about the whole health of the tree and
Right.
where it's growing. A gardener cares about, you know what I mean? You go, okay, we're going to make a nice clean cut here and
Right.
clean cut there, and we're going to make it visually look nice, right? With trees, you have that visually looking nice thing too, but it's also the whole art of health of the tree and safety, thrown in.
And I have talked to tree companies, and most of them are Mexican nationals. And it's a little bit difficult for me to understand. Sometimes I ask them the questions because of the communication gap.
Right, sure.
So I've had people tell me, like even looking at this, oh, you want it shorter? Okay, we can top it off.
Yep.
And to me, that doesn't explain the logic. I couldn't quite understand what they're saying, and it's not explained to me in the format that, hey, there's all the different health. I mean, they talk about it, but there's
Absolutely.
not the to that level. So, but it's hard for me to explain to other people the value of an arborist, other than when I asked the city of Mountain View to come look at the tree outside. I said, do me a favor and look at these. And they said, if you're concerned about the roots, you've got to get a company with a resident arborist. Now, of course, the guy that came, one of them is an arborist too. But it's hard to explain to people value of an arborist versus someone who can just come. And I'm not saying that even the tree
Well,
company
it's-
charge more, right?
Well, if you just want somebody, because there's a lot of guys out there that you can get that you can tell them what to do. That
Yeah.
you go, take that tree down, down. They'll go, okay, and they got the chainsaws and they got the tools and
Yeah.
they'll do it. Henry, the reason I work for Henry, okay, is he is a scientist, okay, and he believes that good business, okay, also involves educating people.
Right. Okay.
And when you're educating the people, you are improving, and he loves trees. You know what I mean? So he loves trees, and he educates the owner, and he has integrity. He will not do something that's going to be unhealthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so a lot of guys, they don't care. They just want to make money. So they say, okay, do this, and
Right.
Henry will turn down, jobs if it's not.
No,
a
no,
job.
right.
Yeah.
I know. He recommended about the redwood tree, we're breaking some gaps, and then the city of Mountain View said, "Oh no, you don't have to do it." Of course, everyone in the community is concerned about cost. So, I have two different opinions. I'm not saying Henry's wrong, and I'm not saying the city is
What was
right.
Henry's opinion?
He thinks that the redwood tree it might be too full on that. That might having a little bit off would be good, so the wind can pass through. City of Mountain View arborists seem to think that it's okay. So I'm saying from the cost standpoint, if there's
He's talking about just pruning and thinning.
oh yeah, thinning it.
Okay,
But City of Mountain View said you don't have to do it. Okay, fine. Then we save some cost. But it's not. I don't think in this kind our weather here is not going to be a big huge problem. In the East Coast right now with all the rain and wind. That might be more drastic, because I saw just on Saturday night, happened to turn on the TV and a weather channel on the East Coast situation came up, and they were showing how trees, if they were big, they were so big, tall, because of the weather, the whole tree came with the roots and all came and fell on the house. So in part of that thing they show it over and over again. You see how this, I'm looking, I'm
Make
thinking
you not
about
sleep at night.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
about this
yeah.
tree, but then I say, we're not in that kind of weather climate situation in the West Coast. But they did say, hey, it's a good idea for people, if they have big trees, to get an arborist to come look at it. So this is so totally kind of coincidental that information came about. But I still feel that we're okay, at least for now. So we're not going to spend the money now. Is the bottom line. But
Yep.
I'm saying that even if within the arborist community, there are differences of opinion.
Oh, radical.
Right.
It's a radical
And
difference.
I think as homeowners, we have to take all the information and digest it, and then try to make the best judgment call
Absolutely.
based on
Yeah.
your budget, based on what you want, and what you hear.
Yep.
So, but basically, I see a lot of. They told me, actually, they said outside, they said only one tree is their responsibility, which is the oak tree, which is really bare. Nothing. They said they're not going to do anything. They assured me that all the power line outside, the secondary line,
Yep.
they're not a concern. So we do not have to trim those trees
Okay.
outside, although previous years I know that they've been trimmed, and I showed them the redwood tree that was already trimmed on the bottom. They said, "Oh, look at that, this is really ugly." And I said, should we bring it, trim more? They said, no, don't touch those redwood trees out there. So I'm not going to touch it, but there are gaps already, the lower gap. They said it was trimmed incorrectly. They shouldn't have just taken all the branches in the lower part. They should have kind of even it out,
Yes.
because from the visual, the look of it.
Yes.
So I know that in previous years, for many years, for tree, according to our financial records, we've used a company called Artistic Tree Care. It's a family-owned Mexican family. But I noticed one time they gave a handwritten quote and even bill, and now we can't even find the receipts because some of the records have been lost. So it's hard for me to tell when the last time